Viewers' questions. Where do the trades fit into mining? Welcome to Australian Mining for New Starters, and recently we've had a few questions from a couple of viewers. Yeah, hey mate, love the channel. Does everything your channel say apply to trades? Thanks. So that's one about trades. And there's another one about here. Where do the trades generally fit in? I'm feeling a bit stuck. Where I am at the moment, only a little bit more than service crew, no chance of progression. So Matt has left a couple of comments, and they're really insightful about the problem, well, not the problem, but the way that going in as a trade works a bit different than going in as an operator. The big thing about going in as a trade is you need to realise that a lot of the big bosses in mining, they see maintenance as an expense, where they see the production mining side of things as something that makes them money. So they look at the operators on the crew as people that are making them money, and they look at the fitters and everybody that's in maintenance as costing them money. Now, I don't agree with that at all, but I've met a lot of big bosses in my time over the years, and not to a man they have that attitude, but that's generally the attitude, and that's why the operators can get paid a lot more than the fitters can sometimes, because they're looking at it from the point of view that these people are making me a lot of money. Now, the argument can definitely be made that the fitters save a lot of money by keeping the machinery going, and that's 100% right, but it tends to be fixed costs. So you've got a workforce that costs you X amount to hire, and then you've got your scheduled servicing, and you've got your breakdowns on top of that. So anything that's on top of the fixed schedule servicing, the bosses look at it as, loss of profits. Whereas, if you're on the crew and you're making the money and you're increasing your production and all that sort of stuff, you're making more money. That's why the crew and the top jobs in the crew make more than the trades do on site. Now, the upside to the trades is that it's really stable work. They don't flog you as much as they flog the operators, as in being on top of you all the time for production. The only exception to that would probably be the breakdown fitter. The breakdown fitter's the one that's got all the pressure on them, but the breakdown fitters do earn a fair bit of money. And if we come over to this one where Matt is actually answering somebody's comment, he says that I know some of the fitters, auto sparkies, that have taken new jobs in the last 18 months, paying $80 to $95 an hour. It's not good for the rest of us, though. As a HV electrician, I only make between 5 and 10k more than the service crew boys, with zero job progression in 6 years. That's the thing. When you jump on as a tradie or a fitter, you're going to be in around that mark where you're going to make a little bit more than service crew. You're probably going to make as much as charge up or the bogger, or maybe a little bit less than charge up and the bogger. So you're in that mid-tier section of money. So for a lot of the even time rosters, the trades are getting paid anywhere from $140,000 to $180,000 a year. All the people that you see on trades that are on huge money, like the $80 to $95 an hour, they tend to be the breakdown fitters that get those big dollars, because again, the management can see the value in it, and because they get told the value in it, because everybody sings the praises of a good breakdown fitter, because they get you back up and running and get you back on the job, and you're making money then. So it's just horses for courses. Like I said, if you're the breakdown fitter and you're making that sort of money, then you're under the pump and you're earning that sort of money. If you're in the workshop and you're making $60 to $70 an hour and you're having little lunch and afternoon tea, then an argument could be made that you're not under the pump as much as the people are that are actually in the pit or down the hole. So just be aware that it can be a bit of a dead end thing, but if you're not making big dollars, then now's the time as a tradie to shop yourself around. That's what I'd be doing. I'd be shopping myself around. Now, if you're a tradie that's just coming in, all the same rules apply as we talk about with underground operators coming in. They do go through a few people, so the more you know about how it all works, the better off it is. We've had a few of the trades, especially a few electricians and a few auto sparkies, do our work ready package lately. That's worked out really well for them because they've had the one-on-one time with the shift boss, so they can really understand more about the job and what's going to be expected of of them and how the whole thing operates. But we've had a few fitters that have come through as well that have done just the DIY. We had one that come through a couple of years ago that did a work ready that worked out really well for him. Again, when you get the shift boss to talk to, you get a really good idea of what's going on in your specific job and how your current skills translate into that job. So yeah, it's horses for courses. Like I said, the main reason that the fitters don't make as much as jumbo operators or anything like that is because big top-level management see maintenance as an expense, not as a profit-making thing. So you get the money thrown at the production side of mining, especially if the money goes up, which it is at the moment. So the prices of everything's going up, and that's why they're starting to put the money up in especially all the underground jobs. But if you want to make big dollars as a fitter, then like anything else, labour hire is the way to go. You could quite easily make $250,000 to $300,000 on labour hire contracts doing 2 and 1. But that doesn't come with any annual leave, there's no permanency and all that sort of stuff. You're basically a gun for hire. But you can do the same thing with the jumbo, and you can make a lot more money than people make if they're full-time as a jumbo. So yeah, if you want to jump into mining as a fitter, then it pays to have a look at the training so you know exactly what you're jumping into and the rules. So I hope that answered your question, guys. Matt especially, that's some really good comments there, and about how it all works. And there's this other one over here. It's been here 7 years. 2 people left with the group I did my inductions. One now is a development shift boss, and the other is a solo. Both on more money than me. Only good thing is about I've been there for that long. I know everybody and pretty much have free reign of how I work and what I can get away with. Yeah, and that's the upside to it. But I would be shopping myself around at the moment, mate, and then I'd be going back to management and saying, oh, so-and-so offered me $75 an hour. So they probably won't come back at 75, but they might boost you up to, 60 or 65 or 70 or something like that. So there should be a fair bit of negotiation in it for you at the moment. But I hope that answers your question. It's not about one area of the industry being better or worse than the other. I mean, if you take one person out of the mine site, none of it works. If you took all the truck drivers out, then it doesn't take too long before you get snowed in and you can't do anything. It's the same with the fitters. If you take all the fitters out, all the machinery breaks. So everybody needs everybody else to make the whole thing run. But, unfortunately, top management often look at maintenance as an expense, not as something that earns them money. And that's where, that's where the difference in pay comes into it. And everybody that I've ever hit up about it over the years in the pub or the wet mess at the end of the day about what's going on with all that sort of stuff, they all say the same thing. You've got your fixed costs with maintenance that you try and stay on top of, because anything that goes over and above in your maintenance budget comes straight off your profit bottom line, and that's what they're all into, is the bottom line. If you haven't seen the video on unwritten rules about money in mining, then you can come over to the sponsors page or the website and have a look about this one. It's all about the money, and that one I talk about what really drives the people that own these companies and how it really works, because it really is all about the money. And I use safety as an example in that one. So I hope that information helps, and I've answered that viewer's question. I will be doing one on engineers at the end of the week, so guys, yeah, I will get onto that one. But I just wanted to do one on fitters because there's a lot of people with trades looking to get into the industry, and it's just all about showing them that you know how the mine works. It's the same thing as getting you as an operator. If they think that they can throw you in the deep end, that's what you want to give them. So I hope that answers everybody's question, and if you could share this video around and like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks.